When you hear the name BMW, what comes to mind? Sleek curves, roaring engines, maybe it's the thrill of the drive, or the quiet confidence of German precision. But BMW is far more than just a car brand. It's a global symbol of luxury, innovation, and performance, a name that commands respect in boardrooms, racetracks, and car shows around the world. Yet what many people don't know is that this iconic brand had humble, even turbulent beginnings. Before the M-Series and luxury sedans, before the dominance in motorsports and cutting-edge electric vehicles, BMW was building airplane engines for warplanes. Then, crushed by treaties, bombed in wars, and on the brink of bankruptcy more than once, BMW's future was anything but guaranteed. So how did it all change? How did a company making aircraft parts during World War I transform into one of the most admired automakers on the planet? Today, we're diving deep into the incredible rise of BMW, a story of resilience, reinvention, and relentless pursuit of perfection. From two wheels to four, from ruined factories to futuristic showrooms, buckle up, because this is not just history, this is BMW's journey to greatness. BMW's journey didn't begin with luxury cars or high-performance engines. It began high above the clouds in the skies of wartime Europe. The year was 1916, and amidst the chaos of World War I, a company was born in Germany under the name Bayerische Flugzeugwerke. Their mission wasn't to build cars, it was to power aircraft. Shortly after, the company evolved into Bayerische Motorenwerke, a name that, even today, carries a powerful legacy. But back then, it simply meant Bavarian Motor Works, their focus. Creating airplane engines that could dominate the skies for the German military. And they did exactly that. BMW engines became known for their precision, reliability, and raw power qualities that would eventually become the DNA of every BMW machine. One of their earliest successes was the BMW-1 inline-six engine, which gave German planes a huge advantage in altitude and speed during the final years of the war. But everything changed in 1918 when the guns finally fell silent and the Treaty of Versailles was signed. As part of the treaty's harsh restrictions, Germany was banned from producing aircraft engines. For BMW, this was nothing short of a death sentence. Imagine building your entire identity around aviation, only to be told, practically overnight, that you're no longer allowed to fly. But this is where BMW's story takes a turn. Instead of shutting down, they adapted. They pivoted from aircraft engines to other products, motorcycles, farm equipment, even household items, anything to stay alive. It was a moment that tested the company's will to survive, and it planted the seeds of innovation and reinvention that would define BMW's future. In many ways, BMW's rise didn't start with a victory, it started with a crisis. And how they responded would set them on a path toward becoming one of the most admired automotive brands in the world. After surviving the turbulent post-war years and being forced to abandon its aviation roots, BMW found a new path forward, onto wheels. In 1923, the company introduced something that would forever change the way people looked at motorcycles, the legendary BMW R32. Now, this wasn't just any motorcycle. The R32 was BMW's first ever production bike, and it came out of the gate with a punch. It featured an innovative flat twin-boxer engine, mounted transversely with a shaft drive instead of a chain. It wasn't just fast for its time, it was brilliantly engineered, reliable, and easy to maintain. It set the standard for what BMW motorcycles would become: performance-driven, uniquely designed, and built to last. Fast forward to 1928, and the company was ready to make an even bolder move. It bought a small car manufacturer called Automotive, which had been producing cars under license from the British Austin Motor Company. With that acquisition, BMW officially entered the automotive industry. Their first car, the BMW 315, at first glance, it was modest, based heavily on the Austin 7, a small, no-frills economy car. But for BMW, this humble little machine was a massive leap. The 315 was compact, fuel-efficient, and affordable, making it perfect for post-war Germany, where people craved mobility but couldn't afford luxury. And while it didn't scream speed or style, It proved that BMW could build reliable, well-crafted vehicles for everyday people. It was the foundation of what would become one of the most prestigious car brands in the world. Think about it, BMW's automotive journey began with a tiny economy car, and today, they're making machines like the M5, a 600 horsepower beast capable of outrunning sports cars and offering 5-star comfort while doing it. From the 315s to the Autobahn dominating legends of today, BMW's evolution is nothing short of astonishing. But even back in the 1920s, you could already see the DNA forming: engineering precision, smart design, and a hunger for innovation. The O32 and 315s weren't just products, they were signals of what was coming next. BMW was never the kind of company to settle for being average. Even in the early days, while other manufacturers were just trying to keep their wheels spinning, BMW was aiming for something greater: performance, style, and innovation. In the 1930s, that ambition took physical form in the shape of the BMW 328. This wasn't just a car, it was a game changer. Sleek, aerodynamic, and incredibly lightweight for its time, the 328 tore up the European racing scene. It won prestigious races like the Mille Miglia and the Eiffelrennen, not just because of its power, but because of its precision engineering and flawless handling. The 328 wasn't just fast, it was beautiful. It told the world that BMW wasn't just another car maker. It was a company that could blend art and adrenaline, form and function. The seeds of the ultimate driving machine had already been planted, but then came World War II, and everything changed. BMW, once again tied to aviation, was pulled back into manufacturing aircraft engines for the German military. But this time, the price was devastating. By the end of the war, BMW's factories were bombed into rubble. The company was banned from making aircraft engines, cars, and motorcycles. Their workforce was scattered, resources gone, and reputation damaged. For a time, BMW was a shell of itself. With no ability to build vehicles, the company had to produce whatever it could to stay alive: pans, pots, bicycles, and household items. Yes, the same company that now builds V1 to luxury sedans was once making kitchenware just to keep the lights on. It was survival at its most desperate. But BMW didn't give up. In the 1950s, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, they began to rebuild, this time turning toward luxury. They introduced the elegant BMW 501, a large sedan with curving lines and a powerful V8 engine. It was a statement. BMW was back, and it wasn't coming quietly. But even with the 501, money was tight. The company needed something practical, something that would sell. Enter the strange, adorable little car that saved BMW's life: the BMW Isetta. It looked like a bubble on wheels, with a single front door and a tiny engine. But it was cheap, fuel-efficient, and perfect for Germany's recovering economy. The Isetta wasn't fast, but it became incredibly popular, and more importantly, it kept BMW afloat during the toughest years. Think about that: a racing legend in the 30s, a household goods factory in the 40s, and a bubble car brand in the 50s. Few companies have been forced to reinvent themselves so radically, and even fewer have emerged stronger every time. The 1930s proved BMW could win. The 1940s tested if it could survive. And the 1950s showed it could adapt, recover, and rise again. While the earlier decades tested BMW's resilience and survival instincts, it wasn't until the 1960s that the company truly began its ascent to global stardom. And that rise was driven by one game-changing idea: the new E-Class. Introduced in 1962, the new E-Class wasn't just a new line of cars, it was a complete reinvention of BMW's identity. These were compact, stylish, and sporty sedans that blended practicality with exhilarating performance. They were modern, sleek, and agile, offering something that was still rare at the time: a car that was both fun to drive and perfect for everyday use. The standout star of the new E-Class, the legendary BMW 202. Launched in 1968, the 2002 wasn't just a car, it was a revolution on wheels. With its sharp handling, turbocharged options, and affordable price tag, it quickly earned a cult following. Journalists raved about it, car enthusiasts craved it, and racers pushed it to the limits. It became the benchmark for the compact sports sedan, and it laid the foundation for what would become BMW's crown jewel, the 3 Series. The 2000s showed the world that BMW could create a car that was small but mighty, fast but sensible, powerful yet refined. It was the moment when BMW went from being a rebuilding company to becoming a performance icon. As the momentum carried into the 1970s and 1980s, BMW exploded onto the global stage. This was the era when they introduced the trio that would define the brand for decades to come. The 3 Series, the spiritual successor to the 2002, blending sportiness with daily usability. The 5 Series, the perfect middle ground of comfort and performance. And the 7 Series, BMW's ultimate expression of executive luxury and cutting-edge technology. These weren't just model numbers, they were pillars of a brand built on balance, precision, and driving pleasure. They represented BMW's bold entry into every major segment, from young professionals to executives and driving purists, but BMW wasn't done yet. In 1972, something truly special was born, the BMW M division. What started as a small group of engineers focused on motorsports soon became one of the most respected names in high-performance engineering. The first car developed by BMW Motorsport GmbH was the BMW 3.0 CSL, a lightweight racing machine that dominated touring car championships in Europe. And then came the beast, the BMW M1 sleek, low, mid-engined, and exotic. It was BMW's boldest move yet, proving they could go toe-to-toe with Ferrari and Lamborghini in the supercar world. But the real magic came when M Division started applying racing tech to road cars, resulting in legends like the E30 M3, a car that rewrote the rules of street-legal performance and became a hero for an entire generation of car lovers. By the late 1980s, BMW wasn't just another car company anymore, it was a symbol. A brand that had redefined what it meant to drive. It had found the perfect balance between engineering discipline and emotional connection. In just 2 decades, BMW had gone from financial uncertainty to global dominance, all because they never stopped pushing boundaries, questioning norms, and engineering joy into every vehicle they built. By the time the 1990s rolled around, BMW wasn't just making cars anymore, they were building a legacy. Every curve, every engine roar, every detail was part of a bigger story. BMW had evolved into more than just a manufacturer. It had become a lifestyle, an identity, and above all, a brand that stood for something greater. Sleek, sculpted designs that turned heads. Engines that didn't just start, they growled. Interiors that didn't just look good, they felt good. Owning a BMW wasn't just about transportation, it was about making a statement. A statement of taste, of success, of precision and performance. And it all centered around one bold slogan, the ultimate driving machine. Now, that tagline wasn't just clever marketing. It was a manifesto, a promise that every BMW, whether it was a nimble 3 Series or a stately 7 Series, would deliver a driving experience like no other. It would grip the road, hug the corners, and ignite something deep inside the driver. A connection between man and machine that you just couldn't get elsewhere. In the 1990s and early 2000s, this philosophy turned BMW into a global status symbol. It wasn't just about horsepower, it was about who was behind the wheel. On Wall Street, the 5 Series became the unofficial car of rising executives. In Hollywood, celebrities were seen cruising LA in sleek black 7 Series sedans. In Europe, the M3 was the go-to car for driving enthusiasts who wanted performance without compromise. BMW became a fixture in pop culture, music videos, movies, and magazines. It represented refinement with an edge, luxury with power, and engineering with soul. And while competitors focused on features, BMW focused on feel, on what it meant to truly drive. Their advertising didn't talk down to people. It invited them into a lifestyle. It said, "You've worked hard. You've earned this, now enjoy the ride." Whether it was a college grad buying their first used 3 Series, or a billionaire ordering a custom-built M760Li, BMW represented a milestone, a reward, a dream made real. Through the 90s and 2000s, the roads became BMW's showroom. And the world, their stage. They weren't just keeping up with the competition, they were setting the standard. BMW had gone from war-torn factories and bubble cars to global prestige, all by staying true to one simple belief: driving should never be ordinary, it should be extraordinary. Fast forward to today, and BMW is once again at the front of the pack, not just as a symbol of driving pleasure, but as a leader in innovation, technology, and sustainable performance. In a world shifting rapidly toward electrification, BMW hasn't stood still. They've accelerated into the future. Into the BMW i Series, a bold, visionary lineup that reimagines what it means to drive a BMW. It all began with the BMW i3, a futuristic, compact city car that turned heads with its carbon fiber body, minimalist interior, and fully electric heart. It wasn't just a car, it was a declaration. BMW is ready for the electric age. Then came the stunning BMW i8, a plug-in hybrid supercar that looked like it drove straight out of a sci-fi movie. With butterfly doors, electric motors, paired with a turbocharged engine, and jaw-dropping looks, the i8 proved that performance and sustainability could not only coexist, but elevate each other. But that was just the beginning. BMW has since introduced new electrified masterpieces like the BMW iX, a fully electric SUV that's packed with cutting-edge technology, from AI-powered voice assistants to gesture-controlled infotainment systems. And let's not forget the BMW XM, a bold plug-in hybrid SUV that pushes boundaries in both performance and presence. These vehicles aren't just electric, they're intelligent. They can learn your preferences, respond to your voice, and even assist with semi-autonomous driving. BMW has taken the thrill of the drive and infused it with the power of artificial intelligence, making each journey smarter, safer, and more intuitive than ever before. And while BMW charges into the future, they've never forgotten where they came from: the racetrack. With the launch of the BMW M4 GT3, BMW returned to the pinnacle of motorsport. Built to conquer endurance races and GT championships, it's a raw, ferocious machine born from decades of racing DNA. And on the electric front, BMW took the fight to the streets in Formula E, competing at the highest level of electric motorsport, proving that the brand's competitive spirit burns as fiercely as ever. From combustion to hybrid to electric, from analog thrill to digital intelligence, BMW has done what few companies can: honor its past while engineering the future. Today, BMW doesn't just build cars, they build experiences. Whether it's the quiet hum of an X, the pulse-pounding roar of an M3, or the lightning-fast cornering of a GT3 racer, one thing remains the same. Driving a BMW isn't about getting from one place to another, it's about feeling alive in between. From warplanes to electric dreams, BMW's journey is a masterclass in reinvention, resilience, and racing spirit. They're not just building cars, they're crafting experiences. And the best part, the journey isn't over. Because with BMW, the drive never ends. If you enjoyed this ride through history, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment below which BMW is your favorite. Until next time, keep driving forward.